I've got the Story of Ferdinand by Munro Leaf. This book was written in 1936. I did not realize how old this book was. Anyway, it's adorable, it's precious, and it has a great message. The messages are about individuality and authenticity, pacifism, nonviolence, finding joy in simple things, how looks can be deceiving, and parental acceptance. All right, first question. Key detail, what is the setting? Book takes place in Spain. It says that explicitly. Not many children's books take place in Spain. So what is the setting? Moving on, character development. Who is the main character and what is he like? So I just skipped the first couple pages. It establishes who Ferdinand is, how he is a bull who likes to sit under a cork tree and smell flowers. He does not like to fight like the other bulls. All right, a few pages have passed. Now after this, Ferdinand's mom has gone to him and has noticed like, oh, he doesn't want to fight and ram his horns like the other bulls. He likes to sit under a tree. Is my kid okay? So Ferdinand's mom goes and checks in, and that's where we've got this question. Character relationships. Who are the other characters in the story, and do they make things better or worse than Ferdinand? The other character here is, of course, Ferdinand's mom. Does she make things better or worse for him? She makes things better for him. So she checks in. She's like, hey, you're not acting like the other bulls. Are you okay? And Ferdinand's like, yeah, I love sitting under here and smelling the flowers. And she lets him be. She accepts his individuality. She accepts that he is different from the other bulls and lets him be. So she understands that my kid's happy and I'm happy. He doesn't need to be exactly like everybody else. Jumping forward, analyzing point of view. How do different characters see the same events? So this is after the like people, the men have like come to wherever they are here, and they're looking for different bulls to be in the bullfights in Madrid. And the other bulls are really excited. They want to show off. They're stoked. They want to go. And Ferdinand sees this event in the opposite way. He does not care. So he's like, oh, while they're here, I'm just going to go sit under my tree. So same event, but Ferdinand and his peers, the other bulls, see the event in completely opposite ways. So the other bulls want to fight, they're very aggressive, but here Ferdinand, very passive, very nonviolent, is like, I'm just going to sit under my tree and sniff flowers. But something unexpected happens. Key detail, what happens because Ferdinand accidentally sits on a bee? So the entire rest of this story happens just because Ferdinand accidentally sat on a bee when he was going to sit under his tree. What happens? The bee stings him, he freaks out. The people who came to look at the bulls think that he is like fighting and going crazy, and they're like, wow, that is the biggest, craziest bull I've ever seen. He's our guy. But they don't know that Ferdinand actually just got sat on by a bee. So all this happens because he accidentally sat on a bee, and the guys looking for a bull had a misunderstanding. All right, integrate visual info. What can the illustrator show better with words than with pictures here? So this is what Ferdinand looks like when he is stung by a bee, jumping around, going crazy. They're just like, oh my gosh, he's the biggest, craziest, wildest bull I've ever seen. He's the one we have to have. And that's shown like through the illustrations. More than the words here. Jumping forward, analyze point of view. What do the characters think is happening? What do the readers know that they don't? So everybody's getting ready for the bullfight. Tons of people are there. There's like the matador, and there's like a bunch of people to support the matador. So what do they think is happening? They think that Ferdinand is the craziest, wildest, biggest, angriest bull that they have ever fought, so they're all scared out of their minds. What do we know that they don't? We know that Ferdinand is not any of those things. So we know that Ferdinand is not the biggest, wildest, craziest bull that they have ever seen. And that they don't need to be scared because Ferdinand's not like that. This is actually an example of dramatic irony. Your kindergartner doesn't need to know that, but your 9th grader should. All right, character development. How does Ferdinand cope with being chosen for the bullfight and the actual bullfight? Ferdinand does not change one bit throughout this entire story. He sits down, and earlier in the story it says like all the women wore flowers in their hair. Well, Ferdinand loves flowers, so he just sits down and he realizes, oh, all these people are wearing flowers. He sits down, he just smells the air and enjoys the flowers. So that is how he copes with being selected for this very unexpected thing that he did not want. He's not even worried, he doesn't stress, he's just enjoying the flowers. And he sits down and he does nothing, just smells the flowers. All right, final question, central idea. What message or lesson or moral does the author want the reader to take away? First of all, individuality and authenticity. We see this most when Ferdinand's mom was checking in with him and she's like, hey, are you okay? Ferdinand's fine. And she's like, okay, if you're happy, I'm happy. She lets him be an individual, his authentic self, whoever he wants to be. Pacifism, non-violence. Ferdinand is very peaceful like the other bulls. He doesn't have to be. He's very peaceful unlike the other bulls. He is independent. He doesn't need to be like them. He is the way he wants to be. Finding joy in simple things. His favorite thing is to sit under a tree and smell flowers. He finds joy in simple things. The idea that looks can be deceiving. Of course, Ferdinand is actually the biggest bull among all the others. I think they say that like twice in the book. It's not hugely emphasized, but he is the biggest, and he looks like he's the strongest, but he likes flowers, and he does not like to fight and ram his horn into things. And parental acceptance, I guess that goes to the individuality. So there are a lot of like little lessons inside the adorable story of the Story of Ferdinand. So even though it was written in 1936, like it's definitely I would definitely call it a must read with your like pre-K kindergartner. So pick up this book and ask these questions so that you get the most out of the book, and happy reading.